Welcome back, everyone, to a special episode of Double Header with Amir Dams and Keenan Costain. And on this episode, we're serving up Super Bowl rings, terrible towels, Mardi Gras beads, and dog biscuits. That's what's coming up, folks.
Happy Halloween, folks. Welcome back. Amir, how we doing today?
Well, I'm doing good. From the intro, I know that we serving up some dog biscuits and Mardi Gras beads in our first story.
Yes, indeed. So, we have a spooky episode for you guys today.
Given it's New Orleans, I heard a lot of scary things can take place there, especially on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. Dare I say, the Superdome.
Yeah. So, we have a lot to discuss when it comes to this game for sure. So, to start off, we got the spooky game pre-game note. Ooh. And
I can tell they're spooky because I see the ghost and the spider, and as I mentioned, the Superdome.
absolutely. So, we have October 31st as the date, 1999, the time, 1 o'clock. Louisiana Superdome at New Orleans, in New Orleans, Louisiana. The attendance of this game was 48,817. Television distributor CBS, and we have commentators Ricky, Don Rikiki, and Steve Tasker. Sorry, Don, if I'm pronouncing your last name incorrectly.
Creepy.
Ricky, yeah, here we go, Ricky. And Saints entered as 9.5 favorites. So, Amir, looking at this final bullet point, how come the Saints are entered as 9.5 favorites for this game?
Well, let's just say this is one of these games that not many people are going to be tuning into. It'd be like, yeah, looking at the stat track every few seconds, like, okay, that's an interesting game, interesting. And I'm going on to Superdome because I've heard that the host team's got one win, haven't won since opening day, and their team they're playing is an expansion team that's winless, and things are getting much better for them.
Well, with all that being said, and you saying that, Amir, quarterback of this game is Tim Couch and Billy Joel Tolliver. And the Browns' record for this season, they still got a goose egg.
Yeah, it doesn't help that your quarterback, Mr. Couch, you drafted first overall, only throwing 4 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions, and the most they've scored was 17 points, which came a few weeks ago against their in-state rivals, Cincinnati Bengals. But I heard the Saints' offense isn't doing much better. They only cost 20 points or so twice, both in losing efforts against the 49ers and Titans. So I say the Browns have a chance in this game.
Yeah, well, both teams are looking for something because look at the Saints' record, folks. If you listen on Spotify, listen to this: 1-6.
Yeah, this was a going season supposed to be a breakthrough season for the Saints, especially under head coach Mike Ditka. And what did they do in the draft? Well, they at first they drafted Ricky Williams, but traded away all their draft capital to Washington and a few other teams. And after opening day, went over to Panthers. Yeah, that's starting to come back to bite them. And Mr. Coach Ditka, your job is on the line in the Big Easy, which has been anything but in '99.
And you would say the same thing about Chris Palmer too, being the Browns' record of 0-7.
Well, Chris Palmer, I think give him some time. This is an expansion roster. There's going to be a lot of growing pains, and also you got a rookie quarterback, which you decided to give him the nod after their first preseason game, which is the Hall of Fame game, and get early returns. It's not looking good, but then again, it's a rookie. He's not going to light the stat sheet on fire like just like that.
Yeah, definitely. So we looked at the pregame notes. We looked at the quarterbacks for each team and head coaches. Let's just say we get this Halloween game underway, shall we?
Saints Browns fans of 1999 would agree. And here the Saints, you want to party like it's 1999 at day's end.
Hmm. So that's a good point to start off with, Amir. And with that, Phil Dawson, Phil Dawson kicks off 55 yards, returned by Troy Davis for 15, tackled by James E. Williams, and Saints won the coin toss. They received the opening kickoff, and Billy Joe is is right onto the field. First play comes along, or a few plays in, pass incomplete, intended for Josh Wilcox, and then all of a sudden, a couple of 3 and outs go, and it's punted for 49 yards after Tommy uh, Bar, Barnhart, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, Barnhart.
And returned by Damian Dunn for 8 yards. And now it's Tim Couch's turn. Pass complete to Kevin Johnson for 11 yards, tackled by Fred Weary. And Amir, a few miscues by the Browns here. There was a miscommunication by the offense, and the Saints were able to get the ball back right away. So,
Yeah, he did throw an interception on that drive, and which amazing level that was their only turnover of the game, and miscued by the Browns offense. And so you're just saying, say this is exactly how it's supposed to play out. For the quarterback going to struggle, make a few mistakes, but now you got to capitalize on it.
well, Ricky Williams left tackle for 2 yards. Aaron Kramer up the middle for two more. And a few plays later, Billy Joe pass complete to Kevin Poole for 5 yards. Touchdown Saints, leading 7-zip after a PAT. So Amir, you're right on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So all
So
right, Saints. That's how you do it. Looks like this
yep.
blowout for Saints fans. This might step this expected blowout's off to a good start. But we do have 3 quarters to go.
Well, second quarter here, Billy Joe pass incomplete, intended for Aaron Carver is uh intended for Aaron Carver is intercepted by Rory Barker and returned for 14 yards. So Billy, my friend, with 10:51 left in the game, or in the second quarter rather, you throw a pick.
Yeah, and that's not what you need if you're the Saints because your offense has been struggling all year, and part of it's just interceptions because coming into the game, you have not you've heard you had you got the nod over Joe Tolver, who we'll get to in a second. And yeah, this was not the start you wanted to have. And I also read here that you left the game with a neck injury, Mr. Joe Hobart. That's Billy Joe Hobart,
Hmm.
that is.
Yep, Billy Joe left the game with a neck injury, and the Browns surprisingly respond. Pass complete to Mark Edwards for 27, touchdown tied at 7 apiece after the PAT. So Amir, now it's the Browns' turn. They they get a back full of candy.
Yeah, oh yeah, and some dog moans to go, and that didn't take them long. It only took them one play after that interception to find the end zone.
Mhm. As for but the Saints were able to march down the field right after that. Ricky Williams right end for 8 yards, tackled by Raheem Abdullah. Seven 7 minutes and 17 seconds left to go. And a few minutes later, maybe about I would say about 3 minutes later, Billy Joe incompleted. A pass intended for Cam Cleveland is intercepted again by Marquise Pope and returned for 2 yards.
Yep, and that was at the Cleveland 42-yard line, and that was 3 plays after the Rick Williams run. So Billy Joe Tolliver, yeah, I know there's 2 quarterbacks in the name of Billy Joe on the Saints roster, folks, keeping on track. Yeah, that's again back to Joe Tolliver. That interception is Cleveland territory. That's a killer right there because you're in scoring you're on the Brown side of the field where points are a premium.
Exactly, and they were able to march down the field no problem, taking their time, and all of a sudden, boom, and another pass is picked, just like that. Looks like the candy has been stolen.
Well, more like it's been Saints got are tricking themselves because as you know, trick or treats feel my feet. Yeah, that's just it. Or better yet, they're getting rocked, reference Charlie Brown, and their jack o' lanterns or candy bags.
Hmm. Absolutely, that's a good reference to that. So after that transpires, nothing is materialized for both teams until a field goal by Doug Bryant to make it a 7-10 lead for New Orleans. So Amir, um, with that um, with that being said, the Saints were able to recover from that turnover. What are your thoughts? It's halftime now, 7-10, 10-7 New Orleans rather. Uh, what what do you think they can do to make to stop the bleeding a little bit more?
Well, for one thing, don't quit turning the ball over. 'Cause you turned the ball over twice with two different quarterbacks. Yeah, not been for that, this could have you could be leading by at least two touchdowns at halftime. But and then if you're the Browns, you're saying to yourself, we're not out of this game. We're only a touchdown away from taking the lead. I mean, and that could the way our defense is playing, that can come at any time.
Yeah, if you're a Browns fan right now, looking for your first win of the season, you're thinking you're going to yourself into halftime and having a little snack, thinking to yourself, man, they have a shot here. They have a shot to do something big, and we shall see.
Yeah, we shall see.
So, without further ado, second half. So Tim Couch pass complete to Kevin Johnson for 24 yards, touchdown. All right, 14-10 after the PAT.
Yep. That came after another Saints fumble. That was by Billy Joe Tolliver. That was at their own 38-yard line on their first possession in the second half. So again, turnovers are letting the Saints once again. And after the team gets a turnover, make them pay. As who's not playing like a rookie, more like a veteran, does this that. What
Yep,
what a big, what a day for him. Given how his season has been going up to this point.
definitely for Mr. Tim Couch. If I heard you correctly on your end, Amir.
You're good.
Yep, but Billy Joel Tolliver pass incomplete, intended for Lawrence Dawsey, and then Ricky Williams left end for 1 yard, tackled by John uh, Turkovich and Marquise Smith, and Doug Bryan. Field goal good. 14-13 lead for Cleveland.
Yeah, that was on a third. So that was the following possession. They had 13 plays, 56 yards, but unfortunately they didn't had a breakdown or the drive stalled in the red zone, which they got to score touchdowns inside the 20, especially against an expansion team. And amazingly, they ran the ball twice, and then they decided to put the ball up. And oh yeah, and I heard they earned a timeout, which hopefully doesn't come back to bite the Saints later on in the contest.
Hmm. So we're in the fourth quarter now. The Saints ha- had a chance to take the lead in the fourth, but Williams lost two fumbles, including a killer inside the Browns' 14-yard line with 7:08 remaining. So Amir, ooh, this is tough. Talk about a fumbling of the candy bag.
Oh, you're right, because you bring up Rookie Williams, who was drafted a few slots after Couch, and yeah, started to catch fire from at this point. I know it was a struggle the first few weeks, but he had 100 yards the week before against the Giants, and had a big day against the Browns, rushing 179 yards. But unfortunately, lost 2 fumbles, including the one you just mentioned inside the red zone, which could have given the Saints the lead. But the Browns couldn't take advantage of either fumble because they missed a field goal on the former and went down the ladder. So you're the Saints, you're saying to yourself, hey, we're still in it. We just gotta quit beating ourselves.
Yeah, it was. This is an interesting one. A lot of back and forths and a lot of miscues for sure. But let's just see how the rest plays out. So the Browns offense could not take advantage of Williams' mistake. 46-yard field goal is missed by the on the former player, while the offense went 3 and out. Like you said, Amir, so 3:41 remaining in regulation. The Saints were able to make their run down the field to 28, Cleveland's 28, and a 8-yard run, 3rd and 11. And let's just say the lead commentators for CBS had this to say on the field goal try for New Orleans.
The whole team see a miss and come away with their first win. Kick is on the way. It is good with 21 seconds left. Doug Ryan hits a 46-yard field goal. And the Cleveland Browns now find themselves down by 2 with 21 seconds left to play.
So, like you said, 22 seconds left. New Orleans has a 16-14 lead. Uh, you're saying to yourself, if you're Cleveland, what do you do?
Well, you say to yourself, well, 22 seconds, man, look a lot of time, but anything can happen in 22 seconds. And then, especially your team couch, you knowing that, the rookie season's been shaky so far, but in the next 22 seconds, I can I can silence a lot of critics and walk out here with a win.
Yeah, definitely. So, and plus, correct me if I'm wrong, they do got their timeouts in their back pocket.
Yes, they do. Because remember, keep in mind, the Saints burned the timeout 1 quarter earlier. That only left them with. They didn't burn any on this drive. They still had. Yeah, the Browns have all 3 of their timeouts, where the Saints they only had 2 going into this drive.
Yep. So with that, 2 timeouts left for Cleveland. Final seconds here. Browns are looking for a score after a made field goal. And with 8 seconds left, Couch looks for an open man, and Leslie Shepard. That being said, Couch has to go for a 56-yard Hail Mary. Amir, he was able to get downfield, but the Browns got to make something happen.
Yeah, and also correct that the Saints used their last timeout prior to Doug Ryan's field goal, so they had none going in this drive. Do a 56-yard Mary rookie quarterback. You're Saints figure, well, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. But
Well,
Couch may have something to say about that.
1 chance left. 2 seconds. Here's a blitz. Couch. Long high ball. Lots of guys going for it. Fighting the end zone. It's caught by the Browns. The Cleveland Browns have won the game on a 56-yard pass.
Look at the Cleveland Browns run across the football field. This game is over.
Did we see what we saw? The most popular game in America, and the legends are built on plays like that. The Cleveland Browns. I've seen everything. It is unbelievable what has happened here.
wow. What a throw. What a catch. Amir. What are your thoughts?
But I think Don Kripke and Steve Tasker, CBS, said it right. I mean, we've seen everything. It just feel like the games. Again, Don Kripke has seen done games for CBS both in the 70s and now in the late 90s, and also called games for NBC. So he's seen a lot of crazy things. Miracle the Meadowlands, Tom Dempsey, uh, the game between the Browns and the Jets in 1986, and these Steve Tasker being part of those Bills teams in the early 90s. So their Super Bowl runs, including the comeback. And having said all that, Browns fans, we got to be saying it's happened. Our team has finally won a game. We are the Saints. Better get those paper bags out, but not for candy, but to put over your head.
Yeah, if you're a Saints fan, get the paper bags out for sure. As for Cleveland, go go find your favorite candy and eat it all night long because you deserve this one.
Definitely.
So with that, let's go over some team stats or player stats rather. So Tim Couch, 11 for 19, 193, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, right?
Yep. No flower kid. Did he have an interception this game? I think he did. I misspoke on that one. Oh no interceptions. He just lost a fumble.
Okay,
That's
so
it.
yep. So 2 times he was sacked. 56 was the longest, and that was the final play of the game. 132.2 rating. So Amir, let's do one player at a time here. So Tim Couch, uh, looks great to me.
Oh yeah, and as Dom 50 said, which is where legends are made of, and he made a name for himself on that play. Rookie quarterback. Had not a lot to hang your hat on the rookie season, but on that one play, he showed everybody, including the Browns fans and media, this is why you drafted me first overall to make plays like that.
Definitely. And with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, uh, that that name does sound familiar as well, Amir.
Yeah, I was about to say, I honestly God, he was on that Browns expansion team. In our last episode, we talked about Mr. Abdul-Jabbar, and kind of ironic, he was facing a winless team that night, and then he was a part of a winless team in this episode. Funny how that worked out.
Yep. And I'll put that in the upper right hand corner of your screen now of that episode. So, boom.
Mm-hmm.
So he had 13 attempts, 39 rushing yards, 0 touchdowns, and 13 was the longest of the night for him. Kevin Johnson, he was the main target with six of them for receptions for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 56 was the longest. And with 56 being the longest for him, he he definitely put up some numbers for sure, getting those 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Last one being the biggest because it won his team the game.
Yep, that is correct. And I thought in this picture in the no, the lower right part of your screen mirror, I thought that was the guy that caught it, but it turned out to be Edwards or Johnson rather. Excuse me.
Yeah, Johnson for all. I mean, yeah, this is. I know Spotify listeners can't see this, but the picture that we're describing, there's Tyron Drakeford and Sammy Knight of the Saints, and right behind him is Leslie Shepard, who you pointed out, the guy who caught the pass, that got the 8-yard pass, set up the game winner in the frame, and then right behind them there's Kevin Johnson, number 85, and Tom Jackson
Yep,
said
I
on
see him.
ESPN, knock it down. Well, unfortunately, Drakeford and Knight did not knock it down, and as a result, Kevin Johnson was Johnny on the spot, and he caught excuse me, got the winning touchdown, and I know the Superdome went from loud to dead silent. You could hear a pin drop.
Yeah. Let's just say right place, right time, right?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, right place, right time.
So Kevin Johnson, you definitely deserve to be on this list. And I got nothing else to say when it comes to him. But another guy that contributed in this game was Mark Edwards with 3 targets, 3 receptions, 37. and got a touchdown from Mr. Tim Couch for 27 for the longest of the night.
Yeah, it's always cool to see the fullbacks get in the end zone, because they had, I know that's being phased out, but, Mark Edwards, didn't score many, but he was able to score one here. And also, he also caught a touchdown pass from Tom Brady many years later.
That's an interesting fact in there. That's an interesting fact. I might hang on to that one for later, for future episodes that we might do. So, with the Saints, however, like you said, Amir, Billy Joe Tolliver and Billy Joe Hubbard both had to leave the game for due to a neck injury. 4 for 9 for Billy Joe Tolliver and 9 for 20 for Billy Joe Hubbard, if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, Billy Joe Hobart left the game with a neck
Hubbard.
injury.
Hubbard.
Yeah. It's like I said, when I was doing research for this game years ago, I was like, they had 2 Billy Joes on their roster. That had to be interesting from roll call. But all jokes aside, yeah, the stats here for Tolliver and Hobart were not pretty. I mean, of course, Hobart left the game with the injury, but Tolliver, yeah, not gonna. Barring by the Saints, didn't score a lot of points, as well 8 turnovers and quarterback passing 20 yards. That's not gonna get it done.
And was Billy Joe the starting quarterback? Billy Joe Tolliver, rather.
Hobart started, and then Tolliver came in relief.
Okay. I should have maybe put for Hobart. I'm getting their names backwards, folks. So I'm not doing this on purpose. I'm just getting their names backwards. Uh, Hobart should have been before Oliver's name because of the alphabet. So
No, you're fine. Because again, they had this first. I mean, Billy Joe. I mean, I know that's going to get, like I said, be very interesting to come roll call or whenever you're reading like the game program or doing doing the pregame what do you call it, introductions. There it is. It's funny
yeah,
enough
I
that,
feel what
and as I'm looking this up now, guess who else is on their roster in 1999? You might be familiar with this name, Jake Delhomme.
Jake Delhomme, like for the Saints, right?
Yep, yeah, he was on that roster.
Oh yeah, I knew that he was on the Saints, but I didn't know that was a young Jake Delhomme, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, yep. He was also part of that 2001 team that we discussed a few episodes prior. It's also about the Browns. Crazy how that works out.
Yep, and if I haven't already, I'll put it in the upper right hand corner of your screen now.
Mhm.
But with that being said, I feel like that one comedy skit with the substitute teacher,
With substitute teacher, I
the
think it's the
substitute
Keenan
teacher
Peel.
where yes, Keenan and Peele, where he says the names wrong. I think,
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was a funny sketch.
but yeah, that's how I feel. You know, trying to name the two Billy Joel's last names.
You done messed up, AA Ron!
Oh yeah, because not Tolliver and then Hobart, and again, 2 Billy Joes on the same roster. Then what are the odds of that?
It's it's I would say it's very low, but so folks, that would be yep, that would be the end of my presentation. And coming up next, we are gonna go to the Terrible Towel State and let's just see what happens on this trick or treat Halloween special with a certain team in Pittsburgh. That's coming up next on Double Header. You're listening to Double Header. Be sure to like and subscribe. Well, well, well. Welcome back to a spooky Halloween special. And we have two teams that are very familiar in the NFL. And speaking of Halloween, what's your favorite Halloween candy, Amir?
Well, I, usually it's Snickers. I do like Snickers and also fruit snacks.
Hmm, that's a good treat. That's a good treat. I would say for me, I'm a big peanut butter guy, as you know. So can't go wrong with the Reese's peanut butter cup. I'll give two more actually. I like the M&Ms a lot as well, and probably the let's see, Kit Kat, and I'll give one more. And the Snickers.
All good selections. And also, instead of trick or treating, I know I got a jack o' lantern here and got some party gras beads. Couldn't quite find any dog bones, but I had some party gras. That's why I was switching up the intro with party gras because we were in Destin, Florida years ago, and they had like instead of like Mardi Gras, they had something called Party Gras down there.
Ah, okay, that makes sense.
Anyway, so enough about that. About we're gonna go from the French Quarter all the way to the Steel City, where like you said before, I would suggest two familiar names. I recognize them.
Yeah. So from 2004, well, we talked about a certain player from 2004, haven't we?
Oh yeah, yes we did. I mean, Big Ben Roethlisberger, of course, this was his rookie year, and we talked about that in our second episode.
Yep. Here's the title card right now.
Yep. And I do know before we get into Big Ben, 2004 was a special year for a guy by the name of, see if you should remember with his name, Tom Brady. That ring a bell?
Tom Brady, seven-time Super Bowl champion. Spent about 19 seasons with the New England Patriots. About two seasons with the or yep. That's oh yeah, that sounds just about right.
Oh, yep. All that is definitely right. And again, we'll start with the Super Bowl in Houston in 2000 on February 1st, 2004, which was 20 years ago. This past February, hard to believe. And oops, you remember that game? Patriots beat the Carolina Panthers in the exciting thriller, 32-29. I know it's tough pill to swallow for Panther fans, but Patriots, host another Lombardi Trophy. As you can see here, Mr. Tom is being interviewed on Mr. Jim Nance Jim Nance. And with that victory, that was their 15th win in a row, dating back to October 2003.
Their 12th win in a row, right?
15th. It's the 15
15th
right
in a row.
there.
Excuse me. Yep, 15th. That's right in front of me, folks. I'm just flying at the bat like always.
No, you're fine. So I'm trying to recall my bats because again it's Halloween themed, and I know Batman, one of the Dark Knight movies, took place in Pittsburgh years later, which featured a lot of Steeler players. Anyway, enough about that. Getting back to the Patriots, yeah, and get about you guys. So, of course, being the Super Bowl champions, get off to a very good start. You're 6-0, and with your win over the Jets the week before, you won 21 games in a row, which is an NFL record. So, that's up to the Patriots.
That is an impressive stat for sure. Man, man.
It is because 21 games in a row. That's like over a year. Think about this: we were in kindergarten when that streak started, in first grade when they reached 21. We reached 21 games.
Yeah, that makes me feel a little old just thinking about that.
Yeah, that's because think about the game in '99. We were at the time of that Brown Saints game. I was less than a month
I was
shy of turning 2 years old.
Yep, I was about to turn two myself 2 months later. So 'cause it was the 31st December. Yep, a month and a half for the both of us because our birthdays are pretty close to each other. Uh,
Well, yes, they are. And speaking of number 24, you can see Mr. Ty Law. He and the Patriots are celebrating their first trip to the Super Bowl, which took place in Pittsburgh, which so happens to be their next opponent. And speaking of the Steelers, how did your 2003 season go? Well, not so good. So yeah, Steelers that year they went 6-10, and Mr. Tommy Maddox. Once I pull up your stats, here we go. Well, Steelers had a 19th ranked offense, scored 300 points, and Maddox he threw 18 touchdown passes, 17 interceptions, passed 3,414 yards, but had a 75.3 quarterback rating, and only won 6 games as a starter. So on the draft, which we mentioned earlier in this presentation and our second episode, is where this guy comes in, Big Ben.
Big Ben. Oh boy, Nate Laughlin. If you're listening right now, I bet you're one happy guy because you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, sir.
Yep, and they're doing good right now. They're 4-2, and wish them luck on Sunday night against the Jets.
Yep. As of this recording.
Yep, and also Mr. Jimmy Owens, excuse me. Hope you're listening too. Congrats to your Steelers on their 4-2 start. Getting back to the 04 Steelers. So of course, Ben's the rookie at this point, at this time, excuse me. So of course, you're gonna start the veteran Tommy Maddox. First 2 games, beat Oakland. But the second game, he gets injured. The rookie comes in. Of course, going to be some growing pains. He did throw his first touchdown pass, but threw 2 picks. But after that, once again, from our second episode, named the starter, and you know what? Wins his first spot or next 4 games, including the one in Dallas against the Cowboys, 24-20. And when you know it, the Steelers are 5-1 and scoring a lot of points, 136 and 22 points per game. And Mr. Roethlisberger, he's thrown 7 touchdown passes against 4 interceptions and 100.1 rating, which is right behind Peyton Manning. How about that?
A rookie quarterback behind Peyton Manning. What a list to be on.
Definitely. And speaking of great quarterbacks, guess who's coming to your house Halloween? Greatest quarterback to ever play the game, Tom Brady. Yeah, he actually earned it in 2004, given he's won 2 Super Bowl championships.
Yeah. Like you said, he was a 2-time Super Bowl champion already after what 4 or 5 seasons.
By his what was it? He was drafted. Yeah, 4th season.
Yeah, 4 seasons. Hmm.
Yeah, 4th season. Yeah, make
So
sure I do my math correctly there. And yeah, absolutely. But he's going to win more, folks. I know it's crazy getting a little ahead of ourselves. But anyway, as for the Steelers, getting back to your last match against the Patriots, yeah, that didn't go well. Like the last 2 matchups, because unfortunately, you lost on this field, which was the first season at Heinz Field in the championship game, and then lost to the said Patriots in the 2002 season opener. And a lot of revenge is on the line here. As for the Patriots, you're looking to go win their 22nd consecutive game. And as for the pregame, what do you think of this? Jim Nance and Phil Simms and Bonnie Bernstein. And check out a little special treat for Mr. Nance and Mr. Simms.
a carved pumpkin from the both of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Getting the Halloween spirit, which also the background, that's the Hunter's Moon, which is why it looks got the night sky and the orange moon in the background. Mhm. Yeah, getting back
Sorry
to
about
that.
that.
So, oh, you good? Yep. So again, most of the folks across the country are going to get this game 4:15 kickoff on CBS, and it's going to be Jim Nance, Phil Simms, and Bonnie Bernstein, and defending champions going against taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'd say, like as I mentioned earlier, it should be a good one.
Definitely. 2 top teams going at it. 2 top quarterbacks going at it. A rookie quarterback in Ben Roethlisberger. still has a lot to prove in his young career in 2004. But Amir, any any predictions uh, going in, going in?
Well, again, Patriots, you won 21 games, not just because of Mr. Brady, but because of a very strong defense led by Teddy Bruschi, Rodney Harrison, and William McGinnis. So, heard the Steelers had Deuce Staley and Jerome Bennis, so you contain them, you have a good chance. And not to mention, there's a rookie quarterback, and I've heard Bill Belichick very tough on rookie quarterbacks. But as for the Steelers, again, you're trying to avenge two losses to the Patriots and end that streak. And more on the street is that Corey Dillon, the Patriots star running back, yeah, he's going to be inactive due to a leg injury. So I would definitely take advantage of that because Kevin Falk will be in the starting lineup, and he's more of a pass catcher than your um, your regular running back running between the hash marks. But either way, I'm looking forward to this.
Definitely, same here. Definitely.
So enough of the pregame. Let's head to Heinz Field. And let's see here as I look through my notes again. I read Steelers got the ball first. Quick 3-and-out. So not surprised there. Going to struggle against the Patriots defense. Of course, Patriots drive the length of the field. Of course, drive stalls, and then Terry makes the field goal. It's 3-0 for the visitors. But then the Steelers march back, and then on the 47-yard line of New England, this happens. All right. So, the first touchdown in the game goes to Plexico Burris, 47 yards out, and what do you know it? Pittsburgh's ahead, 7-3.
7-3, and New England was able to get that field goal to keep it a little bit closer.
Well, I'll take the lead first, but I did say this would be an interesting game, and well, we're trading scores, so far so good. Speaking of trading scores, I heard Tom Brett, according to the telecast by Jim Nance, right before the start of the Patriots' second drive, or ensuing drive, excuse me. I heard every time that the opposing team took the lead, Patriots would take it right back. Well, let's see what happens. All right, well, I'm not sure if you could hear that one, but unfortunately, one play into that drive, Joey Porter strip sacked Tom Brady and his teammate Kim Mulholhoffen. That's definitely a mouthful. Recovered the ball, and that set up the Steelers inside the Patriots 20, where 3 plays later, a familiar face found the end zone. All right, and guess who got that? Mr. Burris did it again had to spin around, come back for the ball, and gets his second touchdown in the span of a few seconds. And what do you know? The Steelers are up 14-3. Would have thought that going into the game.
Definitely not me. And with Brady having a little bit of an issue right now, you gotta see yourself, if you're a Tom Brady fan, something's gotta change and fast.
Well, and you're correct. I mean, things happen. If you're a Patriots fan, something has to change. But keep in mind, it's the second quarter, first quarter, a lot of times. So the Patriots don't panic, get the ball right back, get a touchdown, get a stop on defense, score another one, take the lead. At least that's the plan.
And then off blitz on Brady.
Ooh, that's not well. Pick 6 was not on the Patriots' schedule, but for the Steelers, that's what you needed. To stay Townsend 26 yards out, what do you know? 21-3 Pittsburgh. What's going on here, Keenan?
Oh man, I mean I've seen some interesting stuff from the New England, but just to see stuff like this happen to Tom Brady, the best to ever do it this young in his career, that's not good at all. That's kind of scary, don't you think?
Yeah, considering this is on Halloween, I would agree. And correction that was a 39-yard pick six by Shay Townsend to give it the Steelers a 21-3 lead at the end of the first quarter. You're the Steelers and your fans, you're saying to yourself, "Man, we're taking it to the defending champions." And speaking of which, you're the Patriots. Things better change the next 15 minutes.
Yeah. So with that, if you're, I hope Tom Brady is not seeing any ghosts out there, or any goblins, or any gremlins either. Because if I were Tom Brady, I would have to calm myself down and get myself back into a rhythm.
Well, I would say that for the entire Patriots offense, but it's again now we're heading into the second quarter. They are facing a 2nd and 15 from their own 26, and Brady throws a pass to Bethel Johnson, but unfortunately, double strikes again.
3rd and 15. Brady again goes for the long strike. Michael Johnson, jump ball, and it's picked up. It's picked up by Taylor.
Yeah, again, the audio's a bit muffled, but that was 3rd and 15 according to Jim Nance's call. And well, on 3rd and 15, there's not many plays in the playbook for that, so you got to go deep. And unfortunately for Tom, throwing the triple coverage, odds are someone in the opposing team is going to come out with the ball, and that was IQ of the Steelers.
And who was that again? I kind of lost you for a split second.
So yeah, he was throwing a pass deep for Bethel Johnson, the intended receiver, but unfortunately there were 3 Steelers in the area, and the guy who emerged out of the pack with the ball was Ike Taylor, and that's his 3 turnovers for the Patriots, and that's not a good sign, but for Steelers that's great.
Yeah, and we're still on the first half slide, and the Patriots and Tom Brady is having this sort of trouble again. I hope the gremlins or goblins or ghosts doesn't come back to bite them.
Well, if you're the Steelers, I'd say that you're not seeing any ghosts of any kind because once you get a turnover, you got to take advantage of it. Sure enough, they did because Reed connected on a second field goal, 19 yards out, to pop up a 9-play drive that lasted a 79-yard drive that lasted 9 plays, took up 2 minutes and 9 seconds, extended the Steelers lead 24-9 and not 24-3, excuse me. And you're the Steelers fan, just saying to yourself, well, these tickets were worth the ticket price because our 12 teams, again, it's giving it to the defending world champions.
Yep, you're absolutely right. So, Amir, we still got some audio clips left to go over. So, if you're New England, like I said, something's got to change and fast.
Well, you are correct because they would get the ball once again. They would travel to the Steelers 2-yard line, and I guess I don't know what's going on here. Here we go. So they get to the 2-yard line, need a touchdown, and let's see what Brady does.
As the single back on 2nd and goal from the 2.
All right.
I heard touchdown.
Yes, and you're correct. So David Gibbons, excuse me, who he caught that touchdown from 2 yards out, and so the Patriots they're not out of it. So they take a 20. They're down by 14, and but there's a little time for the Steelers to build on their lead. Unfortunately, they could not. But going to halftime up 24-10 over the defending champions, I say that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean the Patriots were able to climbed their way out of it a little bit, but the Patriots still got a lot of work to do. And if you're Pittsburgh right now, like you said, Amir, feeling good. You're gonna have some candy for a little bit.
Well, I don't know about the players, but I know that fans who brought their children there, I know that candy's tasting pretty good. That's for fans in New England, in the New England area, and Patriots fans around the country. Yeah, you got to be feeling the, you'd be very surprised, but they so we got a little momentum with that score at the end of the second half, first half, excuse me, and we get the ball to start the second half. And I heard the Patriots are a very good second half team, especially on their first possession. So I'm Bill Gower and the Steelers defense. I'm saying to myself, let's not give these guys any chances to come back in this game.
Definitely. So, I'm gonna say Pittsburgh uh, probably climbs in a little bit closer, make things a little bit more interesting.
Well, considering they get the ball to start the second half, that being the Patriots offense, what better time to do it? So let's see what happens.
A shotgun from the 24 to start the third quarter. Underneath the goal, ball is loose. Fumble there, and Smith has it. Pittsburgh recovers right away.
Ooh, that's not the way to start the second half, especially on the first play.
No, blitz right away. I was able to catch those last words by Jim Nance, and ooh, they read the Steelers read it good. That's for sure. They knew what Tom Brady was going to do in the New England offense.
Yep, and as I mentioned before, Corey Dillon, their running back who they acquired from the Bengals, he's out with an injury. So Kevin Falk, he's getting the start, but he's more of a receiving running back, not your traditional running back. And fortunately, he caught a pass. He caught a pass that unfortunately he fumbled, and let's just say you fumbled the ball in the Bill Belichick offense. Your time as a starter might be limited, if not over. And that fumble was forced and recovered by Joey Porter, who had himself a heck of a game with 3 sacks and 2 forced fumbles.
That's really good. But that's the person that you're referring to. That's
Yes,
just popped
sir.
up on the screen. Yep.
Mhm. Yep. So with that fumble, that was at their own where was it? That was deep in Steelers territory, and then so you got excellent field position in your Steelers offense, and what do good offenses do? Take advantage of it. And what's
In the eye. First and goal. The running back hammers his way home for the touchdown.
yeah, that was 3 plays later, or yeah, 4 plays later, excuse me. So the Bennett scored from 2 yards out, his 8th touchdown of the season, and hey, we're barely in the third quarter, and the Eagles have a 21-point lead over the defending world champions.
Yeah. Another score by Pittsburgh. If you're the New England, I would be a little jittery right now.
I would definitely be jittery because now it went from 24 to 10 to 31 to 10, just like that, and getting 4 turnovers and 2 interceptions by Tom Brady. That's not a winning formula in New England.
No, that's definitely not what I had on my bingo card for this game, and especially from Tom Brady, who's won. uh, may I reiterate, 2 Super Bowls already. Come 2004, and you think he would find a way to turn it around, right?
Well, that's true, but then again, even guys who already won 2 Super Bowls, going for your first rookie, what have you, you're going to have, your once say off days for growing pains, and this game is no exception. But then again, if you're the rookie quarterback, Big Ben, this could have going to ask for a better script. Yeah, like 3 touchdowns over defending champions at home.
Yeah, but let's just see if New England can find its way back in. A lot can still happen with big leads like this.
Yeah, you're right, and they would eventually find the scoreboard, but they'll have to settle for a field goal down by 3 scores, which that's not going to help the cause. Yes, 'cause that's 31-13 midway through the third. Then the Steelers responded by kicking a field goal of their own to increase their lead to 27. Now we're into the fourth quarter, and near the Patriots. You gotta down the comeback of some sorts. And I heard this guy, Mr. Gibbons, they want to go to him. That's not a bad option.
No, no, that's not a bad option at all. And without further ado, take it away.
Yes, to do. Oh, yes, shall receive.
Gibbons is open to the end zone. Did he get the second foot down? Yes. Touchdown Patriots.
All right,
All
that's a
right.
good start. Yeah, that's great. And that was a acrobatic catch that you've ever. By the way, this game is available on YouTube for viewing pleasure, both on NFL's YouTube channel and kid you not, a YouTube channel called Homer Simpson. Yeah, yeah, you heard that? Yes, there is a Homer Simpson channel that has NFL videos on it. Shout out to you, sir, and NFL Throwback. So getting back to this game, that capped off a 10-play, the Gibbons touchdown, 10 plays, 86 yards, and that took up 6 minutes and 33 seconds on the clock. But there was 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go in regulation. Now, I want you guys to keep that in mind because on the Steelers' ensuing possession, and also the Patriots burned timeout on that drive, they would travel. I have it right here. I can't get it. Okay, what happened here? Yeah, they would go 10 plays, 86 yards, taking up the last 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Yeah, it was actually the last 6 minutes and 39 seconds of the fourth quarter, with the killer coming on this pass to fullback Dan Kreider. Now the audio would work too.
3:23 remaining. Play action. And he has his man Kreider's first catch of the season. The fullback keeps the ball in the hands of the Steelers with the 12-yard pass play.
Yep, that 13-yard reception would put them in Patriots territory. A few plays later, Bennett would go up to the middle for 29 yards, and then after that, the Steelers were able to run out the clock, and then that 21-game winning streak for the Patriots, no more.
Man, it's disappointing because I thought it was going to be more competitive throughout. Talk about a trick, right?
Yeah, because again, like I mentioned before, that was when the Patriots scored that touchdown. There was 6 minutes and 39 seconds to go in regulation, and that was 11 plays and 59 yards. But then Steelers, I mentioned earlier, that they're not just possession. One of these got to do against the Patriots or keep Tom Brady on the sidelines, run the ball and keep the ball. 10 plays, 86 yards, took up the last 6 minutes and 39 seconds of the game, and that's how you win. And and as a result, Steelers walked away with the victory.
Well done by Pittsburgh. Well done by Pittsburgh. You get a lot of treats, and New England, you get a lot of tricks.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So I mentioned it before we conclude. So Patriots coming into this game defensively, I mentioned they were one of the best in the league. They were 8th overall, allowing 326 yards per game, and they also given up 110.8 yards rushing per game, 14th in the NFL. Steelers average time just coming in the game 31 minutes 46 seconds. For this game, they had 417 yards. The Steelers offense 221 coming on the ground, and they possessed the ball for 42 minutes and 58 seconds.
Wow. Man, man. Pittsburgh, 42 minutes with the ball and 221 yards on the ground.
Yeah,
Wow. I just wanted to I just wanted to make sure I heard that correctly on my end for sure. And man, folks, that's that's domination. I don't know how else to explain that.
domination's correct, and because in comparison with the Patriots, they only had 248 yards of total offense, and this is no misprint. 5 yards rushing in the game.
Whoa. 5 yard rushing, and man, they were trailing by so much. Brady had to do lifting after lifting after lifting, and just to hear 5 yards rushing by probably one of the best teams in the league at the time, rushing wise, not show up.
Yeah, and it didn't help that again they were behind most of the game and didn't have the service of Corey Dillon, who was out with the leg injury, and Kevin Baltimore, your third down half seam running back, not your traditional between the tackles like Corey Dillon. And last note, they had 4 turnovers and they had the ball for 17 minutes and 2 seconds.
Hmm. And to think too, with the quarterback, with Ben and Tom Brady, those aren't really the guys that you want to go to running wise as well. I don't think.
No, and again, you're like anyone facing the Patriots, you got to think to yourself, we got to possess the ball and take the ball away in order to win the game. And the Steelers did that. And one more note about the Patriots' 21 game winning streak. That was start. That lasted for 399 days. So yeah, over a year.
Yeah, like you said, we were in kindergarten once that streak started, and by the end of by I think it was first grade in October, it finally snapped.
Yep. And the two coaches that they've lost, Greg Williams of the Bills and what's his name? Steve Spurrier of the Washington. Yeah, they're no longer in the NFL. They got fired at the end of the 03 season due to their poor records.
Yeah, Bill Belichick and no Mike, no what's his name? Mike Tomlin.
No, Mike Tomlin was not the coach in 2004. He was with the Buccaneers as their defensive coordinator. The head coach of the 04 Seagulls was Bill Cowher, who you might know for being the analyst on NFL Today, or NFL CBS, excuse me.
Yep, but Bill Belichick was still there for New England.
Oh yeah. This was his 5th season as Patriots head coach.
But um, but no Mike Tomlin yet. But he would come a few seasons later.
Yep. Oh yeah, it would come a few seasons later. And oh, by the way, Tomlin has a Super Bowl ring as a member of the Buccaneers 2002 championship team. Something I might mind to add.
Yeah, I always forget about that Super Bowl championship ring for Tampa Bay. But that's another story for another day.
Yep. But speaking of championships, I mentioned in the intro, and of course, beginning of this presentation, these two teams would meet again in the AFC Championship game, but this time it was the Patriots who extracted revenge as they would defeat the Steelers 41-27 on the same field en route to their second Super Bowl, third in 4 years, and as that paper says, they absolutely became a dynasty.
Yeah, this was before I would say before the Kansas City Chiefs that we have today. To be honest.
Yep. And speaking of the Chiefs, before they won their Super Bowl this past February in Vegas, they were the last team to win back-to-back Super Bowls. And something the Steelers know something about. They did it twice in the '70s. And speaking of the Super Bowl, rest assured, Steelers fans, your day that Lombardi Trophy will return to Steel City. So 1 year later, You win it all in Super Bowl 40 over the Seahawks.
That is a wait. Ben Roethlisberger is a 2-time champion, right?
Yep, that's right.
I always forget about the first one. I remember the second. I remember the second one against Arizona.
Yeah, and I've seen like highlights of the Super Bowl 40. 'Cause again, that wasn't his best Super Bowl. In fact, that was the worst performance by a winning quarterback of the Super Bowl. But yeah, because I was how was I when that happened? I was 7 years old when they won that Super Bowl with the Seahawks in 2005, and of course, didn't maybe 3 years later when they beat Arizona in Super Bowl 43. Which by that point, that's when I started watching football on a regular basis.
Yep, same here. Yep, I was doing this like I was saying. Yep, same here.
Mm.
Yep, I definitely remember that too, and
Mm.
from '08, but not the '05 one. Once again, I might do some research on the '05 championship Super Bowl 40. Um, so, but I know one guy that knows a thing or two about Ben Roethlisberger, and that's Nate Loughlin. So shout out to you, Nate.
Yes, indeed. And again, the Steelers are doing good right now. Patriots and are over in London looking for their second win of the season. Taking on the Jaguars, or about to take on the Jaguars.
And as of
And
this, and as of this recording, because this will come out on Halloween, so things will change.
oh yeah, and then also for Big Ben, I mean, first 2 years in the league, I mean, collected a lot of hardware, rookie of the year honors, and then your second, hosting the Lombardi Trophy. So I have to say, man, these guys they can go from like rookies to Super Bowl winning quarterbacks just like that.
Yeah, from rookies to superstars.
Yeah, that too. Now that didn't quite work out for Tim Couch for the Browns, but his career that by this point had petered out and he was out of the league. But guys like Big Ben and Tom Brady, you know what they did. I mean, you talk movie for hours listening to their accomplishments, especially guys from like the Patriots. But having said all that, that's the end of this episode, and I'm looking and that was definitely one I've been looking forward to doing for a long time because I always watch this game every Halloween since I found this on YouTube back in 2018. I do a lot of Halloween themed stuff watch a lot of Halloween themed movies and TV shows that day, and this is always one I watch. So I was glad to share this one with you, Keenan.
Definitely. Well, with that being said, shall we just do the outro then?
Well, that's where be my guest.
Well, folks, if you like what you see, feel free to like, subscribe down below for more. Hit that notification bell for more updates from us. Like us, follow us on Spotify at Double Header Podcast and on Instagram at DoubleHeader97. Follow us on our website. Will be linked down below. And until next time, this is Tina Costain, Amir Daniels, and eat lots of candy, folks. Happy Halloween.
Yep, and also stay safe.